Hello and welcome to ITWU Knows, ITWU Shows. My name is Stefan Schramm, and in this episode I would like to show you how to use the ITWU Launcher free. The ITWU Launcher is an app for an Apple iPhone or iPad. It is designed to store links to your IBM Domino web applications and the user credentials for authentication. To demonstrate the ITWU Launcher, I will use an iPad simulator. The first thing I want to show you is the reason why you should use the ITWU Launcher with your IBM Domino web applications. Normally, you use a Safari browser to access the applications. Let's try this. To start, you have to open a URL from which you can access your databases. I will use our demonstration server www.itwudemo.net. Now I access this XPages application ITWU simple processes. And of course I have to log in instantly. Nowadays we have to use complex passwords which use special characters. Let's imagine a password with a paragraph sign and we need to find it on the iPad keyboard. So where is the paragraph sign? You can see the iPad keyboard down here. We can't see a paragraph sign. Okay, you can navigate to the numbers and we don't see a paragraph sign. We navigate to the special signs and we don't see a paragraph sign. So where's the paragraph sign hidden? Some people might know it because they actually use a paragraph sign in their password. It's if you click the plus sign a little bit longer, there is your paragraph sign. So this is just an example how complex it is to put in complex passwords into the Safari browser multiple times. On this demo server we can just log in with guest. So I just hit sign in and now our Domino web application opened. Okay, now we want to continue working and for example open Google and now we close this and now let's imagine 5 minutes later we want to use the application again. So we open the Safari browser, we open the link to our application and we have to log in again. So, for example, we have developed some XPages applications for a customer. All the employees of the customer were working with iPad or iPhones from everywhere in the world, and they were using these XPages applications often. After a while, they complained that they had to log in all the time, and they got really annoyed. So, by using only a Safari browser, you have to remember the URL, you can access your applications, and you have to put in your credentials for authentication all the time. And that's why we have developed the ITWU Launcher. So let's close the Safari browser, we don't need it. And now we access the ITWU Launcher. By default, the ITWU Launcher is configured with 3 demo applications. They are configured to our server and they are just to give you an example how to configure the ITWU Launcher. You can delete these entries if you wipe an entry from the right to the left, like this, and then delete it. Of course, take a look at the application configuration before you delete it, because it is a good example how to configure your applications. To take a look at the configuration, you have to click with your finger this blue icon. Okay, now you can see the configuration and edit it. I cancel this. If you want to open an application, you just have to click the entry, not the blue icon, just the entry, and it opens. This is a demo mail file which opens now. I delete all examples so we can start from the scratch. Now, this is an empty ITWU launcher without any configuration. I want to use one default server, so we can set some global settings. You can set global settings on this button. Now we have to configure a global server, which is the demonstration server I have shown you before. On the demonstration server, you can just log in with guest and the password guest. We don't want to use SSL, it's just a demonstration server. And the use master password feature is to protect this application, and I will demonstrate the use later. Now we have configured a global default server. And now let's configure one entry. First database I always like to configure is the catalog database. And these catalog database should be opened using the default settings. Now the configuration application is done, and I could open the catalog database. Now I open the catalog, and as you can see, it loads nicely. You don't have to put in your user credentials again, you don't have to remember the URL, and so on. Why did I configure the catalog database as the first application configuration? The catalog contains all databases you can access. So you can search for them and copy necessary information in the catalog. This catalog database is enabled with our XPages legacy enabler. So it has an XPages user interface, and the database is still the same. So we want to search for this application. We want to configure as a next application. Let's open it, and here you find the path name which you want to copy. Just copy the path name, go back to the ITWU launcher, and now configure the next application. The title would be the application name, and now we could just paste the link. It's not perfect, I have to delete a little bit. And of course we want to use our default settings because the application resides on the default Domino server. Now we open this new configured application. It loads a little bit, and as you can see, we are not prompted for a username and password again, and we opened the correct application. We could start using it, but I want to show you another feature of the ITWU launcher. You open another page in your application, for example, this view by job number. And now you want to create a new application configuration which points to this view. You could save yourself some work. You just hit this save link on the right corner, which creates automatically the URL to your page. So you don't have to copy anything, you don't have to remember a URL, it's just the link here. Use the default settings, and we say the title, I mistyped. Now we are done. So I go back to my jobs view and go back to the ITWU launcher. Now we have this new configuration which was created by using the Save Link button. I just open it, and then as you can see, we are now directly in the view by job number. Doing this, you can now configure everything you want. You just have to use Save Link. Navigate into through your application to the pages you want to save a link to. A save link. This, as you can see, really is a long link. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to type it again. Just put it in title. Use the default settings, and you're done. Let's change the UI so you can see. And now we have this new link with a very, very long URL. You open it, and you are directly where you want it to be. Okay, now let's configure one last application. Go here, and it's my webmail. It's on the DemoNet server, so I use the guest. I could use the default settings. And now I want to show you what launch on startup means. Launch on startup means if you open the ITWU launcher, this application will be directly launched. So I turn this on. At first I check if the link is correct. Yes, it is. And now I close the ITWU launcher. And now I open it for the first time again. And as you can see, the webmail is launched by default. So it's directly opened. If you only want to use webmail directly, you can launch it as default, and you can work perfectly. If you want to open another application, you just click back to the ITWU launcher and you can open another application. Now I want to show you one last feature. It's the master password. We go to our settings. These are the general settings. And we say use the master password. I use a very easy master password, just one. And now I'm done. And now I close the ITWU launcher. And now if you open the ITWU launcher, it will ask for the master password. So you have to put it in before you can use the application. This is for users who don't have a mobile device management or can't remotely wipe their iPhone or iPad. It's just a security feature. Two last tips for the use of the ITWU launcher. First one, if you want to use an SSL connection, be sure to use a valid SSL certificate. Self-signed SSL certificates might not work on an iPhone or iPad. And the second tip, many IBM Domino web applications are only accessible through a VPN connection. So be sure to have turned on your VPN connection on your iPad or iPhone. Thanks a lot for your time. Please do not forget to take a look at the other episodes of ITWU Knows, ITWU Shows. Goodbye.